He said, I baptize you with water, but there's one coming after me that will baptize you with fire. Why fire? Because nothing remains in its present form when fire touches it. If you have made a promise that you don't keep, what are you? You are a liar.
Father, forgive them when they start exploiting their friends. Father, forgive them for backdoing their mans. Father, forgive them. I'ma just pray they repent. Hope that no favor ain't fair. I'm the reason they stopping.
God said, if my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, forgive your sins and heal your land. So don't look to them, look to God, look to yourself, break your covenant with hell and death, then make a covenant with Black America and let's help it.
He should be aspiring to be. Like, I know his mom used to always be like, you don't do this, you don't, like, I can't discipline your son. That's your son. He doesn't live with me. I don't feed him. I mean, on occasions, but not every day. I don't clothe him, not every day, like a special occasion, birthday, Christmas, whatever. I don't provide a shelter for him. I can't really discipline him. You know what I'm saying? I can talk to him, but I can't. That's your job. And if you don't want to take the things that I'm giving you to discipline your son, I don't know what to do. You raised him. I met him at 13. So this is what it is. So I wrote him a letter like, look, man, I don't know what you've heard. I mean, what your mom said, whatever. But I didn't discipline you because I didn't love you. It was because you're a man. You're a young man. And we as men have to figure it out. We take instruction. We take wherewithal from other men, conversation. Sit down. The best thing I've ever done in my life is sit down with an older man. Because passing the torch is an old saying from back in the day from the Olympics. You're passing the torch. It was from country to country, passing the torch. And whatever this country knew, now this country knows. And now this country knows and everybody knows. So that was my thought process on passing the torch. So it's like, when I sat down with I think he was 50 plus years old. He was here in Toledo. He was like Educator of the Year that particular year, 98, I believe it was. And he said, if you listen to me, let me mentor you, I cut off 20 years of your life. So what you would have in your 40s, you would have in your 20s. And it served true because I ate it up because I really was hungry for manhood. Like womanizing is out the door. Like even today, what I see, man, women use their bodies for money, for security. If I sex him, I know he gonna give me this, he gonna take it. I ain't gotta worry about it. And it saddens me, it breaks my heart that that's where we're at because men have led with that. Back in the day, you had to have game to smash. Girls wasn't really, they had their mom and dads taking care of them, so they really wasn't after your money. They were like, I like you as a person, like you handsome, you carry yourself well, you're funny, you have a personality. You had to have some type of character. It wasn't about the bag. You know what I'm saying? But somewhere it evolved when guys start throwing money at women for no reason other than they wanted to have sex with these girls. And women start buying into it. And the women that started being on their own got younger and younger. So they needed a man to give them money to make it. Yeah. And they were learning something that is eventually going to cause your demise because beauty is feuding. It's going to get, you're going to get old, wrinkled. I mean, unattractive to those that you're attracted to. But, and if you don't have some type of substance, some type of whatever, something that you've worked on and built, you're at the mercy of whoever at that point. And I'm trying to stop or throw a curve in that mentality. First starting with us, men. Stop the womanizing. Stop unthinking that being a man is how many girls you can collect. Because that's all it is a collection plate. And these women don't know. They letting brothers videotape them. and sharing with their buddies and I mean all over some money or some security. Get your own. Like I got a daughter too. I got a couple daughters, but I got one biological daughter. Thank God she's married and she's doing very well with her husband. But I have other daughters that I've fathered, and I talk to them about building yourself up. You don't need a man, baby. It ain't. You have everything that you need that a man needs you. But I know society's saying that y'all need man because y'all need that bread he got. So you're willing to go through hell and high water to make sure he takes care of you. But that's only temporary. Then you go into the next guy. Then you're gonna have to go to a next guy. Because when he gets tired of you going to the next guy, you have to bring something to the table. And I know people, they tired of hearing what I bring to the table, but that's life. Everybody has to bring something to the table. Me and you stayed friends as males because you brought something to my life, Joey. Everything is a trade-off in life. If you was a knucklehead and had shit to tell me, give me, you didn't bring nothing, we would have been like, oh, I remember Joey.
Yeah. Compensation.
Yeah, I remember Trib, but you wouldn't mess with. You were like, I don't really have no relationship with this guy because he brings nothing to my life, nothing to my table. Absolutely. Yeah. So what I'm saying with I wrote him this letter and I was just telling bro, don't ever confuse my quietness or my lack of discipline as I didn't love you, I didn't care for you, because that's not true. Men have to figure this thing out. I'm gonna give you tidbits. I told you principle things. Yeah. Life's about principles, the things that you value, learning how to be morally fit in today's world. Those are the things that not only stop you from doing things, but it puts you in a place of things that you will not do based on your integrity, your values, and the moral base that you live under. It ain't more so what you do, it's about what you won't do. Because there's certain things I won't ever do again in my life because I know better. And I value who I am. Even in the woman thing, like that, what really eats me, because I'm still, unmarried. And I'm, and I want a wife.
Sure about that?
No, I'm serious. Trust me. Listen, the more and more I stay out here, bro, I'm definitely sure. Yeah, trust me. But I mean, it's unsafe. Yeah. I mean, dating is even unsafe. These women sleeping with different men and ain't in a relationship with you. You don't know what's gonna bring back to you. What I look like 50 plus years old, coming back with diseases and like I don't. No, it's not me. It ain't me, and it's not me for a lot of reasons. Like emotionally speaking, it's time to really. You can even answer this better than me. Like when God says he takes two and make one, being two bodies in one, coming together, like I'm sure your wife can think for you and you could think for your wife. You already know, because y'all so spiritually meshed together. Like women are scared. What do you need to get married for? I don't see why you get married. You could just date. I mean, talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah. Well, marriage is an institution, right? But it's more than that. Like you said, you really become one, right? It's a team effort, right? And my wife allows me. I say allows because I don't have no conflict, and she's submitted that to me. I'm the leader of my family, right? So she brings if she has problems, big decisions, she brings it to me. And then we make the decisions together, but she brings it to me. But it's a special thing when you have someone that's working in stride with you, not working against you. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm out of stride, right, she can look over and bring me back in stride by saying a few words. So that brings the balance. And also, like there has to be a trust. There has to be like there's jobs in marriage, right? She's responsible for A, B, and C. I'm responsible for X, Y, Z. And sometimes they come in, so sometimes we go back and forth and do each other's jobs, but for the most part, she's responsible for that. I'm responsible for that. But it's an agreement. It's a submission that we both have for each other to get things done. And then when you have children on top of that, it just adds to the to that strength. Because now you're not only working for each other, you're also working for your children as well too. Right, okay. So it's an institution. But you brought up an interesting thing. You talked about dating, how horrible it is. I don't think that we date correctly. I don't think we understand what dating is and what dating is for. If I'm dating right now in 2024, what am I do? Right? I might even go out and rent a car to impress her. I'm gonna have on my best wear. I'm gonna take her to the best restaurant, and I'm gonna do that. We call romance her. That's basically tell her what she wants to hear, so I can get what I want, right? But that's not really what dating is.
Right.
Dating should be like what we're doing right now.
Right.
It shouldn't even be a movie. It shouldn't be. You might could eat a cup of coffee or something like that, but it should be sitting down and asking questions. What question? Any question you want to know about that person to find out whether or not are you wasting your time with this person.
Absolutely.
Questions like, what is sex to you? Right? A lot of people think sex is this, sex is that. You want to find out what that is. Have you ever cheated in a relationship? Have you ever hit a man or a woman before? Right? Have you ever verbally assaulted a woman? You want to know all these things, so you can't say, I can't believe that she did this. I can't believe he did that.
Right.
It should be almost like an interrogation
Right.
of questions and answers. And then you decide whether y'all want to meet again based on that. And you ask more questions until you decide, oh, you know what? We ain't wasting no time. We could build something. You know, so and then marriage, me and my wife went through a lot in the marriage. It wasn't always easy.
Right.
Like I was separated for a while. You know? And what happened with me, I realized that there was nothing else out there. It was terrible out there.
Woo!
So at the end of the day, I end up running back home. You know what I'm saying?
and that's typically what it is. So did you have a father growing up? Was your father present in your life?
My mother and father were married till my father passed away. So yeah, my father had a big part in my life. And it's funny because my dad was a hustler kind of like me. He always sold cars. At one time he owned all the cars on the whole block.
Okay.
And he had a job and he had a real estate too. Okay. But he always had a job, but he always came home like dirty. Yeah. And I didn't respect that as a kid. You know what I mean? I was like, I wanted to wear a suit. You know what I mean? And then, but as I got older, I kind of turned around. You know what I'm saying? But growing up with a dad is a special thing because, you know, I grew up with a friend almost like you. He didn't have a father. His name was, you met him, his name was Hoy. Yeah. Right? And me and Hoy used to always want to go to the park and do things. And my dad would always be like, you can't go. You have to stay with me to work on the car, or you got to work on the house. I used to get so angry at that. Right. But I didn't know he was teaching me how to do things. And he was also spending time with me to teach me how to aspire to be a man. So now I look back at that and I do the same thing with my sons now. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's a bit, man, that's heavy, bro, what you just said, because you know how many guys don't have that? Even the young men like now. I mean, back in our day, it was kind of common, but it's almost 98% of the time now that they don't have daddy at home rearing the right way. So what do they have to grab onto? Social media, TVs. What are they showing us black men to be on TV? We don't have a lot of the Cosby Show been gone. I mean, my wife and kids is probably one that I could say is a really good positive show that implements, you know, black principles of a man that's taking care and rearing his children and doing his wife right. But we don't have that. We thugs, we rappers, we gangsters, and womanizers. Yeah. And that's but the sad thing, man, that this is what breaks my heart the most, is that our girls are buying into it, man. Like it was popular in our day for a man to be a hoe. Like we was kind of getting rooted on. Like if you wasn't, you ain't that dude. You ain't that dude if you ain't a hoe. And then women embrace it. Like they liked the hoe. They liked the nigga that had all the girls. They liked him because I was that guy, so I know. Now, it's like the good guy. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a perfect guy. I'm a good guy. Do you know how many times that women thought that something was wrong with me, bro? And when I didn't try to have sex with them on the first date or second, third date, because I'm just trying to get to know you. Like, I'm dating with a purpose. I'm not trying to smash you. That's so super easy. I don't think women understand how easy to a certain type of men having sex is. It's like, that's not a challenge for me. My challenge is to get you to really respect me and know me and love me. I don't like you sleeping with me, unfortunately, is no real value because I know that you done gave this to somebody else just that easy. Or for a monetary gain or to look good with the end boys or whatever. I was seen in his car or whatever the case may be. And it hurts me because I've been in relationships like that. Like, I mean, that dude, if you knew some of the stuff that I've put up with in previous relationships, because number one, I couldn't believe it. Like women are this far gone. Like they are this far broken that they're allowing themselves to be sold for protect. Like, and I don't like to judge. Like, I mean, I think everything we judge. I hate to use the word judge. Because people say you judge. No, everybody judges. You can't walk out of this room without judging your steps as you move. Everything is just, it's the condemning part that is bad. We shouldn't condemn anybody, but we judge everything and everybody. I need to judge my surroundings when I'm walking around who might possibly bust my head open to rob me. Everything is judgmental.
Why do you think it's that way for black women? Why do you think that?
Why they say what? I mean, acting the way.
Why are they acting the way they act? Why do you?
I mean, I think because we dropped the ball somewhere, and I think it started with the crack epidemic when guys start really making that fast money,